Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Expect to Win Experience talk show, the only talk show in the world where student athletes are the stars. And brought to you, we are Expect to Win. But tonight, I am representing the USC Trojans, my school. So, and we have an exciting student athlete tonight. And for those of you that are watching, wherever you may be watching, I ask you to please subscribe to the Expect to Win TV. Follow us on at Expect to Win. What is it? Expect to Win Athletic AA. Expect to Win. I'm sorry. Expect to Win AA on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Expect to Win. You can find us everywhere. And we are a talk show. We profile student athletes from all over the world. And tonight we have a young lady, and she is a basketball superstar, basketball phenom, from what I've been told. She is tonight in Dallas, Texas, I believe, at a tournament. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest for tonight to the Expect to Win Experience talk show, Miss Staley Hurd. Hello, Staley.
Hi, Coach Thomas.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
You good? You good? I know we talked off the air, if you will, and you said you were exhausted. you were, so, Staley, why don't you tell us? You're in Dallas tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us a little, tell the audience a little bit about you and who you are and why you're in Dallas, Texas tonight.
Um, I'm just, I'm Staley Hurd, as you know. I'm a junior in high school. Um, I'm only 16 years old, but this weekend I'm in Dallas for a basketball tournament. It's an exposure tournament where college coaches are able to come watch you and scout and recruit you for their school.
Awesome, awesome. You are 16 years old, and I
17, I
understand.
mean. Oh no,
17.
17.
I got to get that extra year in. When's
Oh
your
man,
birthday, Staley?
October.
October. Okay, so you'll be 18 this year.
Yes, sir.
Uh, okay, all right. And I understand you are 6 feet one,
I'm more like 5'11", almost six
five.
foot.
Okay, when you get to the WNBA, that'll make you 6'1". Uh,
Yeah.
so so where did you what position do you play?
I'm really all around, but mainly like point guard. But my coach puts me around pretty much everywhere, so I'll play inside and
So
out.
what school do you play for?
I play at um I play for Sapulpa.
Okay, and where is that?
That is like 30 minutes away from Tulsa in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma. Okay, all right. And so is the competition stiff there, or is it are you dominating, or are you dominating just because you're good?
No, the competition is pretty good down there. Well, the conference we're in is Frontier Valley, so we play all like the Broken Arrow, Bigsby, Jinx, all those big schools. But our class is 5A. So we'll play like all 5A schools, which is like Ardmore and Carl Albert,
Mhm.
schools like that.
What got you interested in basketball?
I mean, I've just loved it ever since I was born. My parents are basketball players. Um, like my whole family, they all play basketball.
Awesome. How many siblings do you have?
I have two other siblings, a younger sister, she's 16, Tyler Hurd, and then I have an older brother, Bronson Hurd. He is 20
Okay.
or 21.
Can you take your brother in basketball?
Yes, he actually doesn't play sports. He used to play
Okay.
lacrosse, but he's a gamer. But my sister plays
Oh,
basketball, and yes, I
okay.
can take her.
You can take her too. Okay, all right. What about your parents? You said they both play basketball or they both play sports?
They both play basketball. I mean,
Play
my
basketball.
mom played almost every sport, but my dad played basketball. Yes.
Okay. Who's the better basketball player between the two of them?
That's hard. I couldn't tell you
You know you're not gonna answer that question.
that.
You gonna get me in trouble, coach. That's all right. Who is your favorite basketball player?
Candace Parker.
All right. Okay. All right. You know what most young lady, female basketball players that we have on the show, for some reason, a lot of them say Russell Westbrook.
Hmm.
You're the first one to say Candace Parker. you,
Really.
what is it about Candace Parker that you like?
She's a great role player. I mean, she's a great teammate. You know, just watching her play is just. I mean, reminds me of myself because she plays all around also. So I mean, and she just looks like she's having fun out there. She's
You,
just fun
you
to watch.
okay? You know, Staley, I coached baseball. That was my sport. With basketball, it seems like okay, you have one job: put the ball in the hoop.
Hmm.
But coaches are always drawing up plays and all of that. Is it hard to learn the plays in basketball, or is it something that just is really simple to you?
Um, for me, it just comes naturally, but you know, it depends honestly on the type of coach you have, the type of environment and teammates you have that make it easier to learn and comprehend easier. But I mean, for me, it's always been pretty easy.
Okay. What's the most difficult thing about playing basketball, especially women's basketball? What is the most I mean, the thing that you didn't expect to be as hard as it is, or is it all easy to you?
It's not all easy. Um, I had to say recruitment.
Wow. Why you say that?
For me, it's just I'm not a very social person. Like I don't really like talk to people just to talk to people.
Right.
So having to talk to coaches and open up to other people is not easy for
Gotcha.
me. So that's I mean, it's a learning experience and I've learned ever since then. But, you know, I've gotten better at it. So
Do you have a college that you would love to attend, your dream school?
I've always said South Carolina.
You said the wrong USC.
Oh, I saw your shirt. I did.
Did you watch any of the NCAA tournament?
Hmm.
Any of what was it? Any game or any particular player that just kind of blew you away?
um,
Any school?
no, I mean, every school that I watch has their really, really good player and all their, I mean, but they all mesh together and all know how to play together. And different schools have different strategies and different stuff they like to do. Like South Carolina, they like to play all around offense and defense. Some schools just like straight defense. Some schools just work on straight offense. So that's what sticks out to me is what they like to do.
Now tell me this, Staley. I want you to teach me something because I hear even in on the pro ranks they say some teams are all about offense and all about defense, but
Hmm.
defense wins championships. But to play defense, I mean, if you focus solely on defense, you got to score points to win the game. So
Yeah.
why why is it that why is there so much emphasis on defense? I would think, look, let's just go out there. All we got to do is score one more point than the other team, and we win.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, why is that?
You know, that's a good question. Some schools, I don't know what it is. It's just it depends on the coaching style. Like some coaches I talk to are like, yeah, we like to get in 45 to 53s a game. And some schools are like, um, on offense, we're just straight motion, and on defense, we're like, we're in this. Like, I want you in gap. I want you to hedge on everything. No switching. Talk on defense. And other schools are like pretty even. Like they have very few offensive plays, but they focus very strongly on defense also.
Got you, got you. What would you say is your strength in your game?
Defense.
Defense. Okay, you can stop anybody.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Staley, tell me, have you had an experience where it was, I mean, maybe you hit the game winner at the buzzer, or what's an experience in your career that stands out that you think about it and say, wow, I can't believe I did that.
hmm Um, Probably, I have really high goals for myself, so I set the goals pretty high. But one of my goals was to win state as a high school basketball player, and we did that 2 years ago. That was
Wow.
probably my favorite memory I've had of basketball so far. But just getting to play with other people, like traveling and getting to see other coaches' coaching styles and talking and meeting new people is just it's fun.
You are a senior this year, correct?
Junior.
You're a junior. Wow. Okay. All right. Uh, so South Carolina is number one on your list for schools to attend, correct?
Yes, sir.
I still say it's the wrong USC, but well, I'll let you have it. You know, you can you, you can have it. Who would you say is your biggest supporter?
My parents, because they push me, because they know what I can do, and they push me to be the best I can. But also my sister, because she pushes me too, and all the coaches I've had. But I'd say mainly my parents and my sister.
Yeah. Okay. Did your parents did they play college ball also?
Yes, sir. They both played at TU, Tulsa
Did,
University.
okay. Okay. Is that how they met? I'm gonna get in their business
Yes,
now.
sir.
They wow. Okay. Well, they playing a little love and basketball, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Well, tell mom and dad I said hello, and 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 I can tell they have raised an outstanding young athlete, a young woman. What would you say to younger kids that or younger girls who want to play basketball or play sports? Being a student athlete, I don't think a lot of people realize how tough that is because you
Mhm.
have to maintain grades, you
Mhm.
have to take college courses, and you have to deliver on the court.
Mhm.
What would you say to a young girl that wants to play basketball like you?
Um, just to stay focused but also have fun. In the classroom, the main thing about being a student athlete is student first. Academics are very important, but you know, to be able to play basketball or any sport is a privilege. So, I mean, just not to take anything for granted and, love what you do. If you don't have fun, then there's no point in doing it.
Wow. I like that, Staley. I think a lot of young people put a lot of unnecessary pressure on themselves and they don't have fun. Matter of fact, I know a young man now. He's played football all his life, and
Mhm.
now he comes to his senior year, and the school he was at was really, really tough,
Mhm.
and he decided he don't want to play anymore. He said it wasn't fun to him anymore, and that
Mhm.
is so important for all of you young people that are watching. That you have to remember, it's still just a game.
Mhm.
It's a game you can make a lot of money, you know, playing, but
Mhm.
it's still just a game. You know, what have you ever had any disappointing moments, Staley? That have you ever that made you want to just throw in the towel and say, I can't handle this anymore. I give up.
Well, I wouldn't say disappointing. I'd say learning experiences. I've had coaches in the past where just their coaching style just doesn't fit my playing style. So we don't mesh together and it doesn't go well. But also, you know, you just have to work hard. One coach might want you to do something, but the other coach might want you to do something else. You have to do the coach that you're with that day. You have to do what they want. And
Right.
in order to get on the court or on the field or whatever you're doing, you have to listen to your coach. But that also has to do with discipline. You have to be very coachable for that too.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. How do you handle? Say you're on a team and the coach wants you to do something that, like you said, you guys don't mesh.
Mhm.
How do you handle that? I can look at you and tell you don't just quit. You're
Yeah.
not gonna just walk off the court. How do you handle that when you were playing for a coach that you don't mesh with?
Um, it's not easy. I've had to do it multiple times, but um, you just have to try your hardest to do what they ask, and ask many questions. I've had to ask many questions, many coaches questions like, I don't get how to do this, or I don't know what you're asking of me, or stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I've had to learn how to speak up for myself.
Wow. Okay. All right. What's your favorite subject in school? I think I know what it is, but what's your favorite
What do you
subject?
think it is?
I wouldn't say anything that have to do with math.
You're wrong.
Well,
Math is my favorite.
what is it?
Math.
It
Math or
is.
science? Math
Well,
or
I was
science?
right. I was right. I said anything that have to do with math.
Oh, I thought you said doesn't have to do with math.
No, I said anything that has to do with math. See, I was
You
right.
were
I
right. You were
was
right. Good job.
I was right. Yeah. You just have that look that you like challenges
Mhm.
and you like trying to figure things out. You're not gonna
Mhm.
really get the best of you. So that's why I know, do you have aspirations of going to the NBA? I was about to say that's how I know you're going. Do you have those aspirations?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe you're gonna make it, Staley. I can. You say you don't like to open up to people, but when you do open up, you have something to say,
Mhm.
and that makes a big difference. I'm just enjoying. I was going to take a commercial break about 5 minutes ago, but what the heck? We having a good conversation.
Yeah.
Because what you know what you when you speak, you know what you want to say. Not a lot of 17-year-olds are like that. So I applaud you and your parents. Obviously, they're doing something. They did something right in that little love and basketball thing they had going on. Your parents gonna kill me. They're gonna kill. I'm gonna send them a expect to win hoodie. So, but Staley, I wish you nothing but the absolute best. Coach Kelly spoke very highly of you, and I just really know, there's great things in store for you. As we wind up this interview, I could still go on with you, but as we wind it up, uh, what last words would you say to all of the student athletes watching, young people watching you, and what words of advice would you give to them?
Um, you know, mainly to always work hard. You can always do what you put your mind to if you really want to accomplish what you want. And, always accept challenges because there's going to be rough times, days where you don't want to practice, days where just you just hate the sport that day. But, just always enjoy what you do.
All right. Your name just has a WNBA ring to it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your number, Staley?
32. 32.
Number 32. Oh, the same number as Irving Magic Johnson
Oh my
for the Los Angeles Sparks. Staley Hurd.
god.
Staley, it was an honor having you here, and I'm going to get your address, and I'm going to send you an expect to win hoodie, and I'm also going to send mom and dad one, so I need their sizes so I can
Okay.
get in their good graces.
Yeah.
All right, Staley, thank you for being a guest on the show. You can send the people to Expect to Win TV. They can watch this interview over and over and over and over and over again. All right.
Okay. Yes,
God
sir.
bless you, Stacy. Thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, I enjoyed talking to her. That young lady is going far. I can I can sense these things, and she is going to make her family very proud. Um, right now, we're going to bring on the illustrious Coach Kelly with our recruitment tips. So, whatever he has for us tonight. Coach Kelly, you're on mute.
Okay.
There
Sorry
you
about
go.
that. I'm out of
And
practice.
I enjoyed Staley Hurd. That young lady, you know how some young people, or with some people, they say they have it. And even though you can tell she's quiet and reserved, you know it's something special about her.
Yeah, she's
So,
not gonna say much, but she gonna show you on her game. And really, her whole family is a basketball family. Every tournament I go to, they're at mostly.
mhm.
And like I said, mom and dad were ballers. And she's got a little sister that actually got an MVP a couple weekends ago at the tournament. So her little sister can play too. So
Well,
uh,
yeah, that's what she was telling me,
yeah,
and mom and dad play, and it's good to see young people that you can see the influence that the parents have on them,
yeah,
on their lives, and Staley is one of them, and young people like Staley are the ones that keep me wanting to do our show. But sometimes I'm tired. I just don't feel like, oh, I got too many shows on and I'm doing too much. But when I talk to young people like Staley, and I feel like I'm giving her an opportunity to talk about herself, and hopefully somebody will see it. Maybe somebody at South Carolina, as I told her, she keeps talking about the wrong USC. But but I really enjoyed that interview with Staley. So, what you got for us tonight, Coach?
well, I really don't want to go into a tip this tonight. I really want to discuss with you. I really basically the landscape of recruitment right now because during COVID we're still feeling the after effects of COVID, and they've given an extra year. First, it was just to the seniors, to so that they could have a good senior year. Well, then it trickled down to the other grades also, and then it went from the NCAA down to the D2 level, the NAI level, and the JUCO level. So now basically every player in the last couple of years has an extra year,
Hmm.
and that's making it really hard for high school seniors in any sport to really be able to get up, because before then there was a natural progression as seniors in college graduated, high school freshmen coming in.
Right,
So now that these people aren't leaving, now there's a backlog. There's only so many spots that schools have,
right, right,
and and because of that, these high school seniors that are normally would be scholarship players, they're either getting a partial scholarship or having to walk on, or some are even being pushed into to post grad or prep schools where they get that extra year between, that they can kind of develop, but not lose a year of eligibility. It has made it really, really, really hard to do the things that we're doing at NSA Prospects, because there's that natural, the natural flow of things is really backed up, and
yeah.
it's 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 even been to the point to where in the transfer portal, um, there's because those kids are transferring. For example, this past week, I have a guy. In college basketball, you get 4 years of eligibility. Well,
Right.
because this guy he played 4 years at an NAIA school and has that extra year that he can still play. So he's played 4 years of NAIA ball. He should be able to be done. Well, because he's got that extra year, he asked me to find him another place, and he's averaging 16 points a game. He said, "I'm tired of playing these same guys. I've been here at this level for so long."
Hmm.
And I guarantee you, there will be, and this is just his particular choice. He's chosen to stay and play one more year because he stayed and played somewhere with his experience and averaging 16 points a game at his size. I guarantee you, somebody's going to take him. And what that means is there's a high school senior who will not have a spot because he decided to take his year. Now that's his right, and he was given that. But
Right, right,
somebody's going to be missing out because he's not taking the natural flow, which is he's a senior, he's ready to go. He'll go find somewhere that'll give him a master's program and a scholarship. He'll get another year, and somebody won't get to go.
wow.
It's really tough right now, and as many tips as I could give you, it's hard to say unless you're a major basketball player that we can really help you. It's not saying we can't help you, but it's just a lot harder than it normally is.
Now, is that for just basketball or all
No,
sports?
that's any sport that they've given what they call it a COVID year, which I mean all sports have been affected by it. And of course,
Right.
there's some that are certain sports that have less spots and also less athletes. And like for example, smaller teams or individual sports, um, they're not affected as much by it. But like with basketball, there's only a certain amount of spots that you can have, and
Now,
so
I have to say, I'm not. I haven't heard anything about a COVID year here in Los Angeles. Now, I know
uh,
that they did. Uh, I think change the rules about SAT and all of that stuff. But see, what I thought should have been done is just basically let last year's seniors uh, uh, move. Go ahead and move on, and then just stop everybody else. Just not even have a senior class this year, and because everybody lost that year, and that, to me, that seemed like that would have been fair, something fair to do. Because now, but I think the problem, what I'm seeing here, is that there's a lot of young people that some did good during COVID. And that's where the problem is because some did good, a lot didn't. And they're pretty much going basing things off the ones who did good, almost to the point of like, well, they did good, you should have done good. And some kids are actually being hurt because of the COVID. But from if I understand correctly, what you're saying is that they're getting this extra year, and so everybody coming up, may possibly miss out on something, miss out on an opportunity or a scholarship.
That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. And you, I've seen statements made before where people are in an uproar about it. And at first they were saying, hey, these guys, because they're canceling season and canceling games, they deserve this year back. Well, now that they got the year back, they're saying, man, you guys need to go ahead and get on out of here because these high school seniors deserve to be able to play. And you guys need to start recruiting these high school seniors like you were before. And then the coaches would come back saying, okay, I hear you and I agree with you, but I want you to take those because they're taking transfers over high school seniors because transfers are already proven and they already know the college game. And so now they're saying, okay, well, if that's the case, then I want you to go ahead and go win some games with your team with some high school freshmen. If you want us to, if you want to look at it that way, I'll start recruiting high school seniors for fresh college to be college freshmen when you guys decide that you want to play and win with a bunch of freshmen in high school. He said, what's going to happen is you know, people are taking experience over unproven talent, and it's not that those kids couldn't play, but a
Right.
player who's played 1 or 2 years and who knows what it's like to play on the college level, who knows what it's like to go to class, is going to be there's times when kids are in high school freshmen and they've never been away from home and they have to adjust to dorm life and they don't make it. Well,
Right.
this college person who's been playing for a year or two, they already know college dorm life and they're used to it and they're just going to come to work every day. They're going to come put in practice every day. They're going to go to school every day. This high school freshman coming in, high school senior coming in as a college freshman is going to have to adjust to all that. They're going to have to go through being homesick and all that. And coaches is like, if I don't have to deal with it, then I'm going to take the experienced player. And you can't knock them for that. But it's
No.
almost like you can't win. These other kids are getting left out. They can't win, and the coaches are taking the transfers, and so it's like it's a give and take, and both
Now,
sides.
now, Coach, do you think that this is something that will have lasting effect, or is it like a 1 year type a problem? Because once this these college students or these JUCO transfers, once they're out of the system, then everything is back to normal. Correct?
Well, yes and no because I thought it would be last year. They gave the COVID year last year also. I
Hmm.
thought that it would start to even out this year, and it hasn't. It's gotten worse, and the transfer portal has also gotten worse. And it's also trickling over to the girl side. It was just the boy side where transfers was happening a lot. It's now starting to show up on the girl side, and um, it's affecting everywhere on all levels, and it's not just even the Division 1 level. For example, I know that there was anywhere from like I want to say 400 to 500 athletes that transferred just in the Division 1 level last year, and 250 of them didn't even find spots. So some of these kids are even taking a risk, saying I want to transfer, and then they don't even find another spot. Then what are you gonna do?
Well, what do you think about? I mean, it's interesting you would bring that up. That the quarterback over at Alabama, he decided to leave. You know, and he said basically said he's done everything he could do at Alabama, and he actually wanted to go to a program that was not as good. But my son had a very good point. He said that he didn't agree with him doing that. He was like, "You saying you want to go to another school that's not as good? Part of your success at Alabama was you had a line that was protecting you. How about you go somewhere and the line is not as good and you run the risk of getting hurt or something like that? What do you think about that decision?"
I'll if I was to give any tip to any kid right now, this would be it. Right now, this whole society is based on instant gratification. If it's not instant success or if it's not fast gotten success, people don't want to have nothing to do with it.
And that's
So,
sad.
and
That's really sad.
I've got kids that are consistently transferring because they're not the star. It's like everybody can't be a star. So some of these kids are transferring and they're not finding another spot. But you had a spot. Why aren't you sticking it out at that spot? Because it's not roses.
Yeah.
You had a spot and you decided to leave. Now, and I know some people are saying, well, a coach will do that. Yeah, I get that. But a coach is going to go to another program that's already there. They're not just going to say, hey, I'm transferring, and say, hey, who's going to pick me up? Coaches have offers. They're talking to other schools before they leave. Kids ain't doing that. They're saying, I don't like it here. I'm just going, who wants me? And somebody you might not want you, might not have a spot for you. And so to me, there's a difference between these coaches that are being spoken to, or they already know where they're going, or their people are reaching out and they're saying, hey, you can get to come over here and you have this job. So they're leaving to another spot that they already know they have. Kids ain't doing that. They're saying, I don't like it here. I'm just going to take my chances. And if you do that, you might be at home. And,
That's why I like said when she said every coach you don't mesh with, but you still got to go out there and do your job pretty much,
yeah.
whether you
And
get along with the coach or not.
I understand that there are situations where kids need to transfer. That's not what
Right.
I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's some kids that are not wanting to stick it out and grow as a player, or
Yeah.
they just dislike how things are. And I'll just say this, being a coach myself, my job is to keep you uncomfortable, because no growth happens in the comfort zone.
Right.
If you're
Wow.
comfortable all the time, you ain't getting better. My job is to push you outside of that. My job is to make you use your left hand. My job is to make you play hard defense. My job is to make you be in shape so we can play the way we need to play together. You ain't going to like me. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to make you better. I'm not here for you to like me. So nobody likes their coaches when they play for them, but when they're done, man, I understand what he was doing for me now.
Right.
But going through the process is never fun.
Right.
But these kids are going through the process, and I get some may be mistreated, but not everybody. There was over 1,000 kids in the portal last week, and it's growing. And that's just on the D1 level. Just on NCAA D1 and D2 level. And so it's like coaches are sitting there like, ooh, this high school kid's pretty good, but I'm waiting on this transfer portal over here, and this kid's missing out over here.
I love what you just said about being, moved out of your comfort zone, because that's preparing them for life,
Exactly.
for real life. Because, like you said, there is no growth in the comfort zone. You gotta be pushed and moved out of your comfort zone in order to grow. But it is sad, and it's, I think all of that you said is a reflection on society, because it is. Everybody wants everything right now. I hear young people talking about, because they see, the rappers with a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and all of that. And a lot of times it's just rented, for whatever they're using it for. But, you're 25 years old and you talking about, I want a $300,000 car. That's not realistic. It's not realistic at all. I was watching. This is kind of funny. This young lady was talking about her 6-year-old daughter, and so she said, she was asking her 6-year-old daughter to do something, and she said that her 6-year-old daughter looked at her with a straight face. Now, mind you, at this time I was in my office, and I called my daughter in to see it. And my granddaughter came in with her. She's 7 years old. So we're watching this video, and this young lady says, my 6-year-old daughter looks at me with a straight face and says, I'm a grown woman. And my 7-year-old granddaughter snaps her finger and says, there it is. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. You are not a grown woman 6 or 7 years old. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you were wearing a diaper, and you talking about you a grown woman. But I don't get it, with all of this instant gratification. And for all of you young people, let me say this: all of y'all that want to hurry up and grow up and start paying rent and mortgage and car note and insurance and life insurance and coach.
Keep
How much,
going. It don't stop
gas,
there.
how much is gas in Oklahoma? How much
Well,
y'all paying for gas?
it's $4. I don't even have like a big car. Like I got a Nissan Maxima, and a half a tank was $40.
Look,
A half a
gas in California is pushing $7 a gallon. I filled up my tank last week. It cost me $120 for gas. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to eat something or put gas in my car? So,
You talk about
all
life
of these.
decision. That's a life decision right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Putting gas in your car should not be a life-altering decision. But y'all want to hurry up and be grown. You want to rush the process. That's what's waiting for you on the other side.
Yeah.
There's something that water bill, light bill, gas bill, phone bill, all of that stuff is waiting for you. You don't know life. Look, and I know we kind of getting off subject a little bit, but some of the young people need a life lesson. You don't know life. This is coming from Coach Thomas. Until you have worked on a job, get a check that'll take you 2 weeks to earn it and 2 hours to spend it. You broke 2 hours after you get paid, and it took you 2 hours to earn that money. So there's something to be said about patience. Maybe, Coach, I'm going to bring a word about patience, because this instant gratification stuff is not good.
Well, here
It really isn't.
let me throw this stat out there, and this is a real statistic, and it goes back to that where we talked about you can't escape the process, and there's ways to cut it down. If you have a mentor, okay, which coaches are mentors, but you
Yes,
still can't escape the process.
right.
This is a true average statistic. It takes a millionaire at least on average 18 failed business attempts before they actually make their first million. Nobody knows that. 18 failures before they make that million. Nobody knows that. All they see is all of a sudden this guy shows up and he's a millionaire and he gets to tell a story. Most of the time they won't tell you about those other 17 failed businesses where they had to learn and go bankrupt, or almost living on the street. They leave that part out, and all you see is the last part of it.
I
And
watched I watched a very good documentary. Well, it wasn't a documentary, it was a movie about Walt Disney. This man, when I tell you somebody struggled, he was literally eating food out of a trash can. And he had created all of these different characters, and a guy basically swindled him out of it. Said, well, I'll give you some money, pay for your office and blah, blah, all of this stuff. But Walt Disney, he filed he was one of those people filed multiple bankruptcies. And people see Disney now and hear about Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world. But this man was literally eating out of a trash can, and he saw a mouse run across the street. And I take that back. He was sitting down and the mouse came up to him, and he picked the mouse up and he ran back to his office after he had lost every character he had. Guy told him, I own them. You don't own anything anymore. He went back to his office. He saw this mouse, He said to his wife was one of his employees and a couple other ladies. He said, "I have an idea of another character, and it's a mouse, and his name is Mortimer Mouse." And his wife said, and he was so excited. This is after, I'm telling you, this man is eating out of the trash can. He found a sandwich and bit off the sandwich because he was that hungry. He said, "I got an idea for this mouse, Mortimer Mouse." And he have all of these antics and activity, all of these things going on with him. And his wife said, "I like the idea, but I don't like the name. Mortimer, that just sounds too morbid to me." He said, well, you guys, let's come up with another name. And she said, "I got it. Let's call him Mickey Mouse." And that's how big, and today you can't put a dollar value on how much Mickey Mouse is worth. But it didn't just happen because, he said, "Well, I'm going to try something." See, and the thing is now, just like I talked about the young man, he got upset. He didn't get as much playing time as he wanted and all of that. So now, after playing football all his life, he said, "I quit. I don't want to play no more. It's too hard. You got to go through too much disappointment." Well, guess what, young people? It's called LIFE. And if you cannot handle disappointment, you're not going to make it to the next level in sports. You're not. So I know we kind of went off the path a little bit, but I think somebody needed to hear this tonight.
Well,
So
you got to look at the other perspective of that. If Walt Disney doesn't ever, if he doesn't go through the disappointment of his other characters being taken,
yes,
if he isn't poor, if he isn't eating out of the trash can, he doesn't see the mouse, which means Mickey Mouse isn't created.
exactly.
There's the other part of that. People don't want to look at that part.
Yeah. Yeah. He had to come out of his comfort zone. Because he thought when he made the deal with this guy and the guy put some money in his hand, look, young people, let me tell you something else. And we're going to be going in a minute. There's a saying when you play dominoes, all money ain't good money. There's that saying that all money ain't good money. And and if you're not a domino player, sometimes you tempted to score and take the money, take the points, when you really should pass it up and go another route. Every time somebody offers you money, it's not good money. It's not that money for Walt Disney. It looked like it was good money, and it ended in the end because he had a passion for something, and he followed his path with his passion. It ended up working out for his good. Well, there's a scripture in the Bible that says all things work together for good. And it worked out for his good, but initially it was a bad deal. He should have never taken the money. He would have been able to hold on to all of his characters and all of that. And then the guy that took the characters, guess what he did? He went on to form Looney Tunes. So they both ended up winning, but I think Walt Disney kind of beat him. He had all of these like 20 characters. Walt Disney had one, and that was Mickey Mouse. And he built an empire from watching having a mouse walk up to him while he's sitting on the ground eating a sandwich out of a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
You never know how your success is going to come, young people. You never know how that recruiter is going to get you, or you may not get a D1 offer. You may not get a D2 offer. You may have to go the JUCO route. But whatever it is, whatever route you decide to take or you go, if you believe in yourself and you trust God, there's nothing that's impossible. even with all that Coach Kelly put out and said, it's true. This is what's happening. It's getting more difficult. And I think Coach Kelly, another way to look at even what you talked about, the only people that are really gonna make it are the ones that are really serious about going to the next level. They're willing to do whatever they have to do. If that means I got to go to a junior college, I'm going to do it. If that means I got to work harder, take extra, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to just give up because it don't happen overnight for me. You know,
Yep.
there's a lot of people that are 30 and 40 and 50-year overnight successes.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
more,
I wanted to give a quick update on a couple of our past guests that we've had. I know you remember By Joe.
yes, sir.
He went to the state finals and they lost on a last second shot, but he actually today visited Alabama University, so he's made it to the top.
Wow. Wow.
And another guest that we had, Braylon Owens. I don't know if you remember him.
Hmm.
He's one of the kids I told you. All he does is he stays in the gym and he invests in himself. And he's had three Division I interests in the last 2 weeks, and is actually doing well today in the same tournament that Staley's at. Um, and he's in. I've seen a lot of him, being promoted today. But he's had three Division I interests just in the last 2 weeks. So a lot of the guests that we've had on here are having some good success, and they're good kids. And I hope we
Definitely.
keep having that on the show.
Well, definitely. And I can even say with my grandson, Bo, I think next month he'll be visiting Dartmouth. And then he has about 4 or 5 schools that are interested in him. And so um, people get some exposure here. And that's what we're about at the Expect to Win experience. Whatever little bit of exposure we can give to young people and whatever advice we can give. I think we get, for some reason, we've been blessed to get, in my opinion, some of the brightest student athletes on this show. So, any closing remarks, Coach?
No, I said all I had to say on the landscape.
Well, once again, we thank Staley Hurd for being our guest tonight, and we'll be back next week. One of the things I'm learning about this whole broadcasting on social media, not only can you watch it anytime, you know, we try to be on a regular schedule, but if we are not here when you uh, expect to see us, go to Expect to Win TV. You can find any past show, and you'll be able to find newer shows there as well. Best way to get it, make sure you are a subscriber. So I am Coach Thomas,
Now I'm Coach Kelly.
and we thank you for being with us here on the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. And please subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Fight.